Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Farming Flowers podcast. We are in season 2 now. This is episode number 2, and this is actually going to be sort of a twofer. So, we're going to have a little bit of an update from Charisse. We've got one of our farmers here from the collective from Bend Blooms, and this was her first year flower farming. So, if you want to go back and look at the episode we did back at the beginning of the season, I'll put a link wherever it goes up there, and you can go back and look at that first episode and kind of hear sort of what her expectations were for her first year. And now that she's had her first year under her belt of being a flower farmer, we're just going to have a little bit of an update, and we'll kind of carry the conversation into building some resilience, and just sit back and enjoy the conversation. And welcome, Charisse.
I was just remembering, I think the last episode that we did was all about how the farm felt like it was on fire and I was going to let it burn down.
Yes.
There was a lot of emphasis on all the wrong things that I was doing. So
yeah, I remember because you were, it seems like it was at the beginning of when you were having the crazy weed pressure that it came in and just took you over. So, well, now that you've had your first season under your belt, and you had a frost pretty early,
it was like around the middle of September.
Okay, so your season wrapped a few weeks ago. So now that you have officially had your first season under your belt, how are you feeling? Are you relieved, tired, exhausted, inspired?
I am all of those things. I took like a 2-week break after everything before I started doing the fall prep because I needed it because I was exhausted. I mean, it's like fast and furious with such a short season.
Yeah.
And I knew it was going to be like that, but that was a little bit of a surprise when you're actually living in it and it's just like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But I thought it went really good. I was really happy with it. Actually.
Okay. Good. Charisse did amazingly well this first season. She really knocked it out of the ballpark and really brought some incredible blooms. Amazing stem length on her snapdragons. I tell you what, those beauties were out of this world. So, so was there anything that was like along those same lines of things that surprised you, thinking back to how you were at the beginning of the season and sort of what your expectations were? Because at that point, I don't know, did we know you were going to sell wholesale at that point when we had the first conversation? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so. Because I was like, the first time we talked, I was convincing you, like, I'm growing a lot of stuff. I need to sell this wholesale.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that we did that because that was a huge chunk. I mean, that was pretty much my primary. I sold some retail, but it was pretty much, it was the wholesale. And I love doing the wholesale. So, that was a good thing. But, I was definitely surprised by all the things that we talked about on the last podcast, like the crazy weeds, the wind, the extreme temperature swings. Like, I kind of knew they were there, but you don't know until you actually are in it. And then you're watching everything and going like, oh my gosh, this is so much worse and more harsh than I thought it was going to be.
Exactly.
I also, like every variety almost I was growing was new to me also because I'm and I grew a lot, which I knew people say like stick to a few varieties and get them under your belt. I don't regret how many varieties of flowers that I was growing, but I do regret some of the things that I grew. But I wouldn't know that until I actually grew it. Like I grew this flower called Schizanthus that I heard. We never sold it, right? I mean, I thought it was kind of cute, but like I heard great things on a podcast from Aaron at Floret, who was like, this is a hidden gem. Nobody knows about it. So I planted like 30 feet of Schizanthus.
Wow.
And I wasted that real estate space because they turned out horrible. They were like bushy and short and I didn't like them. They did last really long in a vase, but I wasn't into it.
Interesting.
So there's like I grew a lot of honeywort. I thought I was going to love that. And it turned out pretty good. What's interesting is I think it's self-seeded because there's some of them I didn't chop down and they started growing in the fall again.
Yes. Yes.
So I just had some that I didn't end up cutting them, but I saw them growing and I was like, oh, wow, it looks awesome. And that was like the week after it frosted.
Yeah. Yeah. I've still got them coming up everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe I would consider that in the future, but I also had 20 feet of honeywort in different successions and I never sold it. And I liked it a little bit. I tried it in like vases just in my house, but it wasn't, I don't know. So there's a lot of different varieties that I'm going to knock out and I'm going to put things that I did like and expand. Like I'm definitely doing more snapdragons. Which I probably might be planting too many next year because I was going to do 1,800 instead of 1,200, but
oh my gosh,
they're kind of my babies, so I don't know. There was, what else? There was some varieties that I just planted way too many of. Like I planted way too many bachelor buttons, thinking, I mean, I knew that, wow, the wind is like insane right now.
It is here too. It is.
Like all my trees are.
Yeah, they're all doing the leaves. This. Yep, and the leaves are going everywhere. We're in for an atmospheric river, I think, today. I think that's what's coming in. So,
well, I guess I won't finish the tulip beds after this because this looks really bad.
It does. It's very dark black out there.
Yes. Now I lost my train of thought, but the bachelor buttons, I knew that they were cut and come again, but I planted way too many. So there's things like that. I'm going to whittle that down and use my space better. That was something I think you just have to learn by doing it. You do,
right.
What else did the other thing that was kind of surprising, maybe this is going to be another question that you're going to ask me, but I might be answering it now, but the biggest thing or the hardest thing for me was efficiency. Like that is number one, what I'm working on next season. I don't want to touch one variety of flowers 10 times before it gets to the customer. I don't want to harvest it once a day, every day, when I could just wait a little bit longer, harvest it all at once.
Right.
Or, figuring out the storage for all of them instead of storing everything in the cooler because I'm out there harvesting it every day.
Right.
I'm going to work on those little things a little bit more. Now that I know more, how long does this last? How long can I wait to harvest it? How early, or even things that I could harvest even earlier that I tested. Those are all, they just used up a lot of time.
That's a huge lesson. And it comes, with years of doing it because we do tend to grow a lot of different things every year because we really are kind of trying to just pinpoint what works in our microclimate. And so you don't know until you grow it. And, once you know, then you do better. And so that was a question that I did want to talk about because it does sort of lead to the resilience question of like the hardships or the challenges or something like you figured out efficiency is something that, really was a big challenge for you. So that now is something that you're aware of and you can develop a skill. I guess it's going to be a skill to be able to use that going forward in how you, approach, especially for wholesale next year.
Yeah.
So, but like you said, you don't know that until you're deep into it. Because, would that have even popped in your mind at the beginning of the season before you really even started harvesting things?
No.
Probably not.
No, it didn't.
You didn't
might
have
been
the
there,
schedule.
But it was far off. It was like, I'll figure it out, But when you're in the thick of it, it's hard to figure it out.
It is hard. And Charisse was we have multiple sales channels through the collective. And so Charisse was doing pretty much all of them. So she was providing for the wholesale that we have online, that we have regular weekly where our order window opens on Wednesday and then closes on Sunday. And then everything gets delivered on Tuesday or picked up on Tuesday. We also had a wholesale market that came during the pickup time. So Charisse was supplying for the wholesale market as well. We do DIY buckets for brides. She was providing flowers for buckets. We had, I think, 21 different weddings and events this season. And then we had a retail market on Saturdays where we did, wrapped bouquets and mixed jar arrangements and whatever. And Charisse was also providing for the retail market. So she was doing everything that we offer as far as sales channels. So the scheduling was insane if you were trying to do all of those things. There's just barely time to sleep and eat and, do laundry. And hence the reason I have probably 20 pair of overalls, because I just don't have time to do laundry during the season.
You just pick a new pair. It's fine.
Exactly.
I do the same thing. You know what's funny? So I have a Whoop strap. It's like a little tracker device, and it tracks my heart rate variability and my resting heart rate and my sleep and everything. I just love data and biohacking. So I've been using this guy for years, but it calculates your estimated chronological age instead of your biological age.
Interesting.
And in April, it said I was 6 years younger than I am. Right? Because I love exercise and eating healthy. I'm super into all of that. I love it. And I did the chart, and I literally went up 6 years in biological age by September.
God.
Because I wasn't sleeping, I was up till 2 a.m. harvesting some nights.
Gosh.
I was getting plenty of exercise, but it wasn't like the resistance training that I used to do. And I just knew, I knew that I was tired. So now I got 6 months to go back and fix that right now until I start again. But that was a little shocking.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, how is that something? This will be interesting because I know you plan to do most, if not all, of our sales channels again next season. So maybe this is a good time to start talking about the resilience and how, because that's pretty shocking, actually. So how do you think you're going to change? Because now you have to be more efficient with how you're doing your scheduling and stuff. How are you going to be able to change your routines, or I don't know, maybe your scheduling during the day? You have some plans. Okay.
Number one is working on efficiency. And like I already mentioned, and part of that is just going to be honing in on the experience that I have as I keep going. But secondly, and I think almost more importantly, is I'm going to try and stagger the bloom time, because my first year, even perennials that I started from seed, everything bloomed from July until September. I had 2 months. Almost everything I sold was within 2 short months.
Right.
So I'm going to stagger kind of the income and when I'm harvesting, which is why I decided to do tulips. That's why I'm trying to grow campanula and sweet rocket, a few things that are a little bit, and I've really bumped up my ranunculus. A lot of ranunculus. But part of that is because I just wanted something in, the end of actual spring, even though it's not really spring here.
Still
true. Winter.
It's still winter,
so that I wouldn't have everything blooming at the same time. Because, that was interesting. I think that's what made it so crazy. In the month of July, every single thing was blooming on the farm. Towards the end of July, when the dahlias started.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you're right. You came in with guns blazing for that really fairly short amount of time. I mean, you did have multiple quantities of everything, and Charisse definitely saved our bacon a few times when, we had big orders for buckets that I wasn't sure we were going to be able to fill. But, Charisse is like, yeah, no problem. I've got, 200 of
I had more, way more than I needed for my first year, but that's okay.
Well, so has a part of that lesson then, it sounds like you figured out which crops you want to go a little bit bigger on, and then which ones you're going to completely take out, which ones you're going to shrink. So now you kind of have a better idea of how you want your season to go as far as when your crops come in. So, I mean, that's huge. That's something that not a lot of people learn so early. I don't even know if I have learned it still. It's, you know,
I also want to play. I'm going to try making some polytunnels and things to play with, planting things a little bit earlier, play with the temperature to get them blooming sooner. Yeah. And hopefully that will help stagger the harvest a little bit.
Okay.
But I haven't really honed in exactly what I'm going to do and on which things.
Yeah.
We'll figure that out soon.
Well, I mean, that's going to really help you build resilience. I mean, that actually just plays right into sort of this whole concept of what I wanted to talk about during the series. Is you really learned some valuable information from, and you're very much a data nerdy geek too about things like I am, and we have a couple other farmers in that collective that really love that kind of information. And so I think that's incredibly helpful that you can track a lot of those different things, and then that just helps you make a better decision for what works for you and for your life. So it sounds like those are going to be some really good skills you've got in your resilience tool belt that will help you for next season, that you're already going to be a little bit ahead of the game by learning those lessons so early. So if you could think back to when you were first at the beginning of the season, if there's someone who's just thinking about doing a flower farm, or they've just been dabbling in it or whatever, and they want to, just take the leap and jump in, is there anything that you could think of, some advice that you would give them, or, just some words of encouragement now that you're on the other side of your first season? Is there anything that you would offer to them? I think you had advice in the first podcast too. So
I would say just do it, because no matter how much research you do, and I do a lot of research. I love research. That definitely contributed to some of my success, but some of those lessons you just have to learn by doing it, and then hone in what you're doing in the future. So you got to start somewhere. And if I was telling someone else who was interested in it, I would say, do your research, but just start.
Yeah. I think you're right.
You can find all information about every single plant online. What temperature to start a seedling at?
Yeah,
what temperature does it thrive in? When does it bloom? Is it daylight sensitive? It's everything. You can just find it if you Google it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I don't know. That can help make up for some of the experience on your year one, so that you can be a little bit more successful. But then the rest of it, you gotta learn by doing it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And that's what Stephen Workman was saying in our first episode is, everything is solvable. Nothing that any of us are doing, especially in flower farming, basically it's happened to someone else before. It's, these problems are all solvable and probably have been solved many times over by many people. And so, well, okay, awesome. Well, it was really lovely to catch up with you, and thank you for giving us an update. So it sounds like your season went really well, and you were able to get past the weed issue. And
I'm kind of at one with the weeds.
Yeah.
It's more that I just realized, and the first year I think is the worst, because it was the first year I was putting water in that field.
Right.
I'm going to be no-till, so hopefully I'm not tilling up old seeds. But do you have mallow, by the way? I have an insane amount of mallow, and I was trying to get the roots out and then cleaning up the farm, and some of them I couldn't, so I just cut it off, and then I Googled it, and I was like, oh no, you have to get the entire root out,
and it's super long. Yeah.
So I have a lot of those. There's stuff like that. I couldn't manage, and it's just there, and I'm gonna have to take time to clean it up by hand. But I am going to try and manage the weeds better starting in the spring. Once everything that dies in the winter is dead, at least some of it will be gone. Some of it will survive the winter, like that stupid mallow, but
yeah, it will. It definitely will. It gets less. I hand pull all of mine too when they're really small, and I try to keep on top of those. Because they can definitely get away from you, and then those roots are ridiculously long.
Oh,
and you do
I pulled one out with a root that was like, I don't know, probably 15 inches long.
Oh yeah,
I almost fell over trying to get it out.
And then I was like, I know. It's
Yeah.
impressive what they do. It really is. I wish they were useful for something, for cut flowers, because I mean they're pretty resilient.
Technically, they're edible, which is weird, but
I didn't know that. Well, did you taste one? I don't know what they would taste like.
Those they scare me, whether it's edible or not. I'm like, I hate this thing. I'm not putting it in my mouth. Burn it.
Oh, I hear you. Oh gosh. Well, thanks again for joining us today, and thanks for the update. And I can't wait to see what you got going on next season and see what comes through wholesale and retail and buckets and all the things. So.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I think I just need like 2 months of relaxation and recuperation, and I will be super jazzed to start everything again. And I'm trying a bunch of new stuff, of course, because I like the novelty of something new.
Yes.
So it's probably like 20% of the farm is going to be new things that I'm growing.
Okay. Well, that's good. But, that's how you find, your little hidden treasures. So
or new colors, or I don't know.
And you do Lysianthus, so you're going to have to get going on, because she's a master seed starter, so you'll be starting 1st of January-ish. Is that when you're...
I think January 1st is kind of what I was planning, because I always have family here right before that, but I started them last year, January 22nd.
Okay.
And that was definitely too late for a group 2.
Yeah.
Because those ones were really stubby. I mean, like, no matter what, they're going to be shorter in a group 2, but they were just too short. So I might try starting some of them earlier than that, maybe in middle of December.
Oh boy.
Just the group 2s, but I bought more seeds than I'm actually going to grow.
Oh yeah, I've got that problem. I have boxes and boxes of seeds.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
there's stuff I bought that I opened the box and I'm like, oh, I got 300 of these ranunculus. Like, I totally forgot, and I'm like, I think I have too many, but it's fine.
Well, so I hope at least you're taking the rest of. So you've had a couple weeks off already. So you're taking November off and hopefully part of December and getting recharged. So
we're going to Disneyland next month.
Oh, fun! Good.
Thanksgiving with the whole family, and nice. I got an infrared sauna, so I'll be doing that.
Oh, good. That's good for your health. Maybe that'll help bring your chronological age back into line.
That's literally why I got it. And it has a red light panel too. So it's coming this week.
Oh, good.
Or next week. It's Friday today.
Well, it's important to have the self-care too. That's something that I think a lot of women, especially, and then women flower farmers on top of that, self-care tends to get pushed to the bottom of the list sometimes. So I think it's important that you recognize that and actually did something about it. I've been saying for like 3 years now that I'm going to have the collective, we'll just put it on the calendar and we'll once a week go do something fun and we'll go for a hike or we'll go. There's no time to do any of that. We don't take the time to do it, and it's bad. It's a really bad habit. I need to be better.
Well, but it's hard when the season is
so
going.
Hard. Yeah.
That's why I'm just going to focus on the time when the season is not going.
Yeah.
Make up for it.
I guess that's all we can do. So,
yeah.
Well, enjoy your time off.
Get my efficiency.
Yeah.
Then maybe.
Well, then we'll do an update at the end of next season, and we'll see how your efficiency plan worked. So
that sounds good.
Yeah. Well, all right. Enjoy your time off and get some rest and take care of your chronological self and get that back into line.
I'm working on it.
All right. Thanks, Charisse. It was good to catch up with you. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a really fun conversation. So it kind of sounds like Charisse had, for her first full flower season, it sounds like she sort of had equal parts exhaustion and joy, along with maybe learning some valuable lessons and some insight into how she wants to go forward. And so that made me think, resilience doesn't really mean that you have it all figured out. It really just means that you learn that you can adjust and you can edit and you can pivot and you can change things when you need to. And that really, I think, is the key to building resilience, is knowing when and how to do what you need to do to make things work for you. So anyway, thank you so much for joining us. And if you enjoyed this conversation, you can hit the like button down below there and hit the subscribe button if you want to be here for the rest of the episodes that are going to be coming out over the next several weeks. And you can hit the notification button too if you'd like to get a notification when the episodes go live. And this just started this week, we are now offering channel memberships. So we have a couple of different tiers you can choose from. And if you would like to get early access to our podcast episodes, you get some fun little custom emojis, and then also some members only posts and some kind of behind the scenes videos. You can now hit the join button down there and it'll pop up with all the details and tell you about the 2 different tiers. And we'd love to have you join us. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye now.